The biggest driver, experts agree, is shrinking state budgets, forcing schools to lean harder on their students. But that's not the only thing pushing the price of admission higher. This is the Meritage Resort and Spa, nestled on an 8-acre private vineyard in Napa Valley, California.
How many drink wine only on special occasions? How many drink wine daily?
And those are college administrators and financial aid officers from across the country, learning the finer points of California wine.
Take the wine glass and take a look at it. And just kind of look for density of color. And you should notice color differences between the two grapes.
They are attending a conference sponsored by Hire One, a Connecticut company that lets colleges outsource parts of their financial aid programs, which the company says controls expenses.
Tell me what a wine tasting in Napa Valley has to do with value, service, and keeping costs down.
We hosted our clients in California near our office there for an event to learn more about Hire One services. We had training sessions about specific services, and we also talked about or listened to our clients, and they're talking about what services they want.
Miles Lassiter and Mark Volchek founded Hire One in 2000 when they were students at Yale. Today, it's a public company, its stock soaring. $75 million in revenue in 2009, on pace to more than double that in 2010, with some 700 colleges on board.
What do you think that students, parents, taxpayers would think about seeing their school's financial aid officers, administrators, bursars, sipping wine at a resort in Napa Valley?
I think university administrators are spending their time learning about a valuable service offering, and we spent the time at the conference focused on that and talking with each other. There were some social events, as you mentioned.
Mm-hmm. And networking with other administrators is really important for them to learn about how other campuses use products and are more efficient.
In addition to the wine tasting, college officials could tour the lush Meritage vineyards, and the conference included dinner at an award-winning Napa restaurant, rented out for the evening.
When people see them in that setting, how can they be assured that these people have the students' interest at heart?
This is a paid conference that people are attending for educational purposes. It is not for entertainment.
But the business side of Hire One has come under criticism of its own. The company makes most of its money by taking the portion of a student's loan proceeds beyond tuition, funds that are supposed to go toward books and living costs, and distributing it to students in the form of a debit MasterCard, letting them spend that refund, their student loan money, any place that takes the card. The University of North Dakota signed up with Hire One in 2009. Student Alexandra McLaughlin got her debit card right around her birthday.
I got it a day after I turned 24, so I kind of went out and spent some on shoes and clothes and went to the bar, and but most of it I tried to save for some bills, and then I did buy a new car. So the interest rate was a little bit lower than it would be through a car dealership.
Talk about the wisdom of giving an 18-year-old student with limited experience handling their money, putting it on a debit card that basically they can use for anything. They can use it for books, they can use it for rent, they can use it for pizza and beer.
The financial aid system is designed to provide living expense money as well. So it's everyday money that you use, yes, to buy food, to buy drink, if that's appropriate.
Hire One makes money from MasterCard transaction fees paid by merchants and debit card fees paid by students. $20 to replace a lost card, $19 a month for an inactive account, and a 50-cent fee per transaction if the student keys in a PIN instead of swiping the card. Shane Gerbert is a senior.
Now, remind you, this is a 50-cent transaction fee that's levied against your excess financial aid. If I wanted to get some money off of an ATM somewhere that's not the 3 Hire One ATMs that are located on campus, that'd be a $2.50 fee. I don't like the fact that someone's taking money from money I borrowed.
Hire One says its fees are competitive and all avoidable if the student uses the card properly. The company says students can opt out of the card and claims the card reduces the cost of administering financial aid because it streamlines the process. University of North Dakota Vice President Peggy Luckey agrees.
It's pretty unique to find an arrangement where we as the university can obtain a service and we don't have fees assessed to the institution, which then we turn around and pass on to our students. We really looked at it as a pretty reasonable win-win kind of arrangement.
Clearly a win for the University of North Dakota official who attended that Hire One conference in Napa Valley on the university's dime. The cost, which a university spokesman called not out of line, about $1,700 for 5 days, roughly equivalent to half a semester's room and board in a university dorm. Tuition at the University of North Dakota, while below the national average, has increased nearly 30% in the past 5 years. Coming up,
you're completely overwhelmed.
Student Loans 101, Stafford, Perkins, Sallie Mae. What does it all mean? And what are you paying for?
Should some students just not go to college?
What's a college education worth if you can't get a job? In the conclusion of Price of Admission, America's College Debt Crisis.